Hey everyone! I'm a couple days late on the New Year's reading, but holidays will do that. Okay, so I specifically asked what the new year has in store for the Twin Flame Collective. So this is as a whole, remember, and I actually feel like the responses from Spirit are kind of covering the various waves. There you go. So I started off with Moonology, so let's go there first. You and your loved ones are safe. This protection is protection. This connection is safe. This connection is protected. You don't have to worry about losing your twin or something coming between you guys. Like the twin flame journey has a lot of ups and downs. It can be very complicated, but you can't lose each other. You might spend some time apart, but you can't lose each other. This connection is protected. I keep wanting to say protected instead of connection. Right now, Spirit wants you to know that it is time to focus on releasing negativity that is affecting you and affecting this connection and is part of why you might be in separation. It's time to step out of your comfort zone, not just with this connection, but with your life as a whole. Step out of your comfort zone with this connection and allow yourself to fully embrace it. And that's really important to manifest union, because you really need to realize that that this connection is unbreakable, and that no matter what ups and downs occur, like you're always going to come back together. So you really need to embrace that and dive in, basically, and not be in this wishy-washy mentality of, if this doesn't happen or that doesn't happen, then I'm going to do this or that. Honestly, that doesn't exist with twin flames. It might take some time for you to realize that and get out of that mentality, but that's the truth. So step out of your comfort zone there, and also step out of your comfort zone in your life and what you need to do for yourself, because the twin flame journey is also about transforming yourself individually and your life and getting you to where you need to be in order to be ready to take on this much bigger connection and divine mission and everything that is meant for you. The Spirit is saying that your dreams need a practical plan. So whatever it is that you are wanting to achieve, that you are going to have to step out of your comfort zone to get, you need to work on that. Spirit wants you to work on that. Emotions are running high because this connection is so incredible and unbreakable. But you know what this card also means? It means that a positive outcome is coming because the emotions are so high and because you mean so much to each other. Have faith in your dreams. Know that a fiery climax is approaching. I think we all like to hear that. And a new start is coming, and that's the best one out of all of them. In fact, the booklet even says that this is an extremely positive card, like the best one in the deck. Because a lot of the other cards can say, they might say you're very close, but then they'll say, but there's just a little bit more that needs to be worked on. But this one is pretty much like your new beginning is right around the corner. So have faith in that, okay? Release your fears and have faith in this new beginning. Right now, a lot of you may be at a distance from your twin. You may be in separation. It might be complete silence, or it might be, limited contact, or even maybe more than limited. Whatever it is, but you're not together. You're not in union. So a lot of you are dealing with that, which is normal. Which is not only normal, but so I meant it two ways. It's normal for twin flames, and it's also normal that if you're even listening to this reading, you're probably in separation. And a lot of you are sitting there anxiously waiting for some type of communication or movement or something from your twins. Know that Spirit is working with your twins right now. Spirit is helping them, guiding them, lifting them up when they need it, literally in this picture. Your angels, your spirit guides are helping them find their way. Right now, they're really deep in contemplation about their connections in their lives, their relationships in their lives, and who is meant to be where, and what is meant to be for all of their connections and relationships. And especially if there are karmics involved, yeah, they're thinking about that too, about who is meant to be where. I'm sorry, hold on one second. My cat wants to go out. My clients know that he regularly interrupts. I just left the door open for him now. Okay. And while your twin is going through this contemplation, he or she is also gaining a lot of wisdom and perspective. Notice how the person goes from young to old here. That's because it represents that shift in perspective and the wisdom gained. And that makes a huge difference in how they choose to move forward. Also, remember or understand that secrecy for many of you is going to be involved right now. And honestly, I think that most twin flame readers, their readings show that as well, that the DMs are keeping things quiet to themselves while they're in the process of figuring their lives out. So you need to recognize that you're not necessarily going to see a true reflection of what's going on in the 3D worlds. Like, you might see stuff on social media, or you just might not be fully hearing what you need to hear yet. And that's just because, like, they are keeping things to themselves until they are ready. Okay? But they are going to take the risks that they need to take in order to get back to where they belong. This card is about being with those that is like where you belong, who are most similar to you. So to me, I see that as like twins. Like your twin is your tribe, it's your person, it's where you belong. So they are going to take the risks to get back to where they belong and to have a brand new fresh beginning and leaving the past behind. That's the exact meaning of this card, like leaving the past behind and starting out fresh. And then you guys are going to have peace and harmony and happiness. Okay, so I do think that it's a fair assumption to say that out of the whole collective and anyone who may be listening, some of you it's going to happen sooner rather than later. But, like some of you might come into union quickly. Some of you, it might take a little longer. But know that this is the trajectory, okay? You know your individual stories and what you need to work through, and you can always order individual readings from me or any twin flame guide or advisor, and you can get the feedback on what's specifically going on for you and your story. Now, moving into the twin flame cards, there is still a period of shadow work going on, and that is to heal inner child wounds, which is extremely common and can have a huge impact as well. Okay, inner child wounds, I really feel, are one of the biggest, if not the biggest thing that holds twins back from each other, because the patterns and traumas that you experience in childhood really have a lasting, deep impact and can make it really hard to get past certain issues and deal with certain things. So that can be one of the longest things it takes to heal, I feel. We're also working on self-worth issues, and that's definitely applies, I would say, to third-party situations and karmic partners for sure, because it's more than likely, yeah, there are some soulmates, karmics, and those are obviously going to be good relationships. But the vast majority of third parties and karmics are toxic relationships. Either that they don't mean anything or that they're toxic. And when there's been a toxic or abusive relationship, it really significantly affects your self-worth. I can tell you that I can tell you from experience, both with myself and from my twin side, that it can be really much more difficult than what you realize to break out of that. The break out of the hold that a toxic partner has over you. It's very, very easy for other people to say, even people who have been in abusive relationships, it's very easy for other people to say, why don't they just do this? Why don't they just do that? If you're not in it and you're not experiencing the gaslighting and manipulation and whatever else is happening, you forget how hard it is to break free from that when someone is constantly treating you like that and lowering your self-worth. So these are the other issues that are being healed. And there's also work going on in the spirit, oh my gosh, I can't talk, in the material world. This could be literally like working on finances. This could also be just, sorting out 3D situations, living arrangements, custody stuff, like anything in the material world that needs to take place. Know that DMs are experiencing a lot of regret about their past actions and their past choices, okay? But this is all about closing out cycles and moving into a new direction. It's funny, I started to say that and then I realized it's the next card. Closing out cycles and moving into a new direction, a positive direction for yourselves, both DM and DF, because the DF has positive work to do as well. So moving into new directions. Well, actually, this conclusion could really go with that. Closing out the karmic cycles, bringing those karmic cycles to a conclusion in order to move into the new direction with a brand new, fresh start with your twin and commitment. So, it doesn't get much better than that. Trust in the outcome. Now, I asked I was gifted, thank you, Mindy, with some new decks, but I'm using 2 today. One of them is, hold on, I want to say, the Power of Love activation cards. So I asked what is being activated for the Twin Flame collectives in this new year. We have tolerance. You appreciate other points of view because you sense the love in everyone. I should have grabbed the book because I don't really know these cards that great yet. Because the book does provide some insight, but I'm just going to focus on intuitive right now. And I really feel like this is tolerance for the situation, for the twin flame journey situation you may be in, and it's tolerance for each other's point of views. What was one of these cards that you got here? It's time to release negativity, stepping out of your comfort zone. Like, I feel like those are talking about, managing the ups and downs with this journey, and realizing that no matter what happens, you can't let go of each other. Like, your twin can really upset you sometimes with the choices that they make and the procrastinating and various things. So this is tolerance for each other's perspective and journey, basically. Also, respect. You value everyone's unique perspective on the path to love, like truly respecting each other, and each of your perspectives, just like I said, same with tolerance, and how you each need to get from there to here, with here being union, okay? And also maintaining respect for yourself, because sometimes, especially in the early stages of the twin flame journey, twins can go through a toxic cycle as well. There's a lot of people who want to label that very negatively and say that it's just codependency or just narcissism or whatever, but I do see a very distinct difference between people who are like that and the twin flame journey, people who are like that chronically in the twin flame journey, because the difference is that for particularly DMs, they are very unhealed and sometimes damaged and in need of a lot of healing. And it's very common that they will go through those beginning stages. The love and the connection is so intense and great that it scares them. And so then they can revert into defense mechanisms because they're afraid of getting hurt because of their inner wounds. And that causes them to behave badly and to do things that can be considered toxic even. And it takes, that's one of those things with the tolerance and forgiveness and unconditional love. It can be a lot to push past that and push through those periods. But, and when you're going through that, what I was going to say, my point with this card, is when you're going through that, yes, maintain respect for yourself and integrity and good boundaries. But that doesn't mean that they're not your twin. I mean, this is where discretion is important, and being able to recognize the difference between someone who is a real twin versus someone who is not, who might be a toxic karmic. That can be a thin line during those stages, but you can figure it out. And, you know, it's about being able to move on or not, being able to break the connection or not, and whether or not. To me, the difference is that you can really see that they have, that they're genuine, that they have regret, that they have remorse, that they have genuine love and care for you. Someone who's your twin is going to show that. They might have moments or days or maybe even weeks of being toxic, but you can see the good in them as well. With someone else, it's all fake. With someone who is chronically like that, it's all fake, and you never actually feel true, genuine care, concern, or remorse. So hopefully that helps. What else is being activated? Kindness. You are a humanitarian made of love, and you are able to share that energy with others. I feel like the kindness and tolerance can go together well. And maybe this also applies like in how you reflect back out into the world too. Release. You have the ability to give over unwanted energies to the loving forces of the universe. Well, really, this release is letting go of everything that no longer serves you, closing out those karmic cycles and releasing them and any negativity from them far, far away from you, and then taking action. You have the courage to express the unique loving colors of your soul. I loved that these two came out, and they came out together too. So releasing the past and anyone in it and taking action towards the future. Activating the action, baby. Creativity. You love to devise new ideas, innovations, and forms of illumination. Now this activation, I feel like this creativity could be not necessarily in the connection. It could be like elsewhere in your life to, just like we talked about, Spirit wants you to work on yourselves too, and your lives and your plan. I feel like the creativity can apply there. Or maybe the creativity applies to how you come back together and the efforts made towards each other. And then I love that the last card is harmony, which like totally speaks to union. I did not expect to get the release, action, and harmony cards from this deck. I was just like, okay, what, you know, it's more like concepts. But I totally can see the pattern here of shifting out of old ways and into union. You are able to feel a loving, balanced connection with everything. Love it. So that's what you have to look forward to. And lastly, some new love messages from the DM. I pretty much always do from the DM because I figure the majority watching are DFs. So I think it makes the most sense that way. I made the wrong choice. I'm sorry I hurt you. I regret how I handled things in the past. Please wait for me. Please be patient with me. I understand our connection now. I'm getting myself ready for you. And I love you with all my soul. I thought that was really beautiful. So, actually I'll leave that there. So I hope that this reading helps you guys. I thought it was a great look at the beginning of the year and asking Spirit, what does the new year have in store for you? Just remember, like I said, that the trajectory can be different depending on your individual story and journey. So I will be back next week with another collective reading. Let me know if you have any questions.